Hey guys, so in this video what I've been working on is randomly generating the maze. So picking off from the last video where I implemented the tile map grid. So taking that a step further, every time you launch the game it will generate a maze randomly for you. So every time you play it, it should be a different kind of experience, a different maze to defend against. So like this green is where the enemies start, the red is the end point, and the blue are all waypoints in between the green and the red. As you can see, the enemies are pathing through it, and then the pink is obviously the path that the enemies are currently taking. So I can build something in the way of their path, and that path will change and update. So another thing I did is these black squares. So every time I generate a waypoint, I put this, I grab, I think it's a 15 by 15 block around that tile, and I prevent another waypoint from being put in there, so you can't get super close waypoints together. So you can't have like a start one right next to an end one or something. But if I go into the code, I can kind of explain a little bit. So this map manager is just run on the game master, so whenever the game is loaded, the map manager starts as well. So what it does is when it awakes, it just grabs all the tiles. So I think just have a 64 by 64 layout right now. So it grabs all those tiles and stores them in a list, so I have them. And then I call this generate map function. This loop is just for the simulated path and the A-star pathfinding. I can talk about that later. But I first, when I'm generating the map, I first start with my start tile. So I have a function to get the next map tile point. And what that does is it just grabs a random number between 0 and how many tiles are eligible to generate that I have left. So when I start this, there's 4,096 because nothing has been selected or used yet. So it just takes a random number, and that's my tile that I'll use for that point. So what I do is I remove that tile from the tiles that I can use to generate the points, and then I grab that 15 by 15 box around that tile and also remove those, so you can't put anything in there. That's the black box around it. And then I do the end tile next. I use the same function. And then I grab all the waypoints in between. Right now I'm only doing 5, so I can like increase this one to put some more points in there. So put that up to 8. And restart it. So now there's a lot more, a couple more points that they have to go through. my idea here is that you'll start like building like a maze around these waypoints. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for the map generation. So the more complicated part was doing the pathfinding. So for that, I found a tutorial online that explained it pretty well. So I'll link that below. Sebastian's tutorial. He does a pretty good job of explaining how he did the pathfinding and how it works. But basically each enemy is calculating the path to the next waypoint. And anytime something on the map changes, like when I build a tower, every single enemy recalculates it. So I modified some of his pathfinding logic to kind of more tailored towards what I'm doing. So I'm pretty happy with how quick it is, where if you build something, there's no like noticeable difference in lag, and I can't really tell that every single one of them just recalculated to find a new path. But if I pull up like the kind of explain the simulated path code. So in the awake, I generate the map, and then in the start, I simulate the path. And then also whenever I build something, here's my build manager. Whenever I build a tower, it re-simulates the path. So what it does is it resets all the colors, so it keeps track of the old paths, so I know all those pink map tiles, and I can reset them. In the future, what I want to do is maybe like do some arrows or something. Right now I'm just doing the pink for debugging reasons, so I know exactly where they're going. But I'll probably do like some kind of better visualization of the path. But anyways, I reset all the colors, and then I'm generating a list of all my simulated waypoints so that I could change the color to pink. So I get all my tiles. I start with the current one to the next waypoint, and because I'm storing my list of those waypoints, so I request that path using this path request manager. So if you followed his tutorial, it's similar to what he did, and that just calls pathfinding. And won't go into too much detail, but the pathfinding is just a modified version of Sebastian's pathfinding. Kind of remove some stuff, and I have some different functions and stuff that I use to determine if the path is walkable and stuff like that. But yeah, it just gets the path. I know all the waypoints to the path. So I add them all to a list, and then once all the requests are done, I loop through all those map tiles and set the color and store that this is a simulated path. And that's about it. So this video is getting a little long, so I'll wrap it up. So I think for my next video is, you can kind of see it already, I'm working on like the selection stuff. So I kind of got to start on kind of like that RTS circle around what you're selecting, just more like visual feedback. So I have the info panel started for a tower. But I don't have one yet for an enemy. So that'll probably be something to work on next. But I think that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.